Lily, on a bicycle, races through the city streets in search of someone. Suddenly, a pack of stray dogs starts chasing her. Accelerating, Lily pedals faster and faster, yet the dogs keep up and continue the pursuit. We move to events of the recent past. Lily joyfully spends time with her loyal four-legged friend Hagen. Her mother is moving to Australia, and the girl remains to live with her father, who works as a butcher and cannot stand animals. The father locks Hagen in the bathroom at night, and the dog woefully howls as Lily tries to calm him. By morning, it turns out that Lily spent the night in the bathroom with Hagen. Someone knocks on their door. It turns out that all dog owners must pay a tax for their pets, but her father refuses to do so. Lily runs away from home and spends time on the street with her furry companion, after which she goes to music school. She hides Hagen in a closet so he won't be a nuisance, but the dog breaks free and disrupts the rehearsal, leading to the conductor's anger, who demands Lily be removed from the orchestra. On the street, Lily's father finds her. He had been searching for his daughter all day and even considered calling the police. In their conversation, he threatens to send her dog Hagen to a shelter. Lily, on the brink of despair, begs her father not to do this. In response, her father takes Hagen out of the car and leaves him in the middle of the road, then continues on with his daughter. Hagen, in a panic, tries to catch up to Lily, who screams and cries while her father accelerates, pressing harder on the gas pedal. Hagen is terrified cars race by, and several times he narrowly avoids being run over. At dawn, Hagen woefully howls and drinks water from a polluted puddle. He sets off again in search of his owner. Soon, the dog learns to cross the street when the traffic light turns green. His journey leads him to a market where meat and sausage are sold. Hungry Hagen looks hopefully at the food. Another stray dog appears nearby. Hagen follows her and discovers that there are many such dogs here, all feeding on leftovers from garbage bins. The dogs begin to bark, and one of the vendors, deciding to protect his store, chases them away. All the dogs run off, except for Hagen, who stays and continues to howl woefully. The vendor, who dislikes animals, decides to teach Hagen a lesson for his persistence. He grabs a large knife and corners the dog, but just in time, another street dog arrives, grabs the vendor by the pants, and he slips and falls. This gives Hagen a chance to escape. He runs down the street with his new friend and comes to a wasteland, which now becomes his new home. At dawn, several cars with hunters for stray dogs arrive at the wasteland. The dogs realize the danger and scatter, but not all manage to escape. The hunters catch most of the dogs and load them into their vehicles. Hagen tries to escape but soon finds himself in a dead end. In an attempt to show his friendliness, he licks the hand of one of the hunters, but the men ignore his gesture. At the last moment, his new friend helps Hagen escape from the hunters again. As Hagen races through the city streets, a homeless man notices him. The man hides the dog, protecting him and several other dogs from the hunters. Deciding to keep Hagen, the homeless man feeds him leftovers and makes a leash out of rope. Meanwhile, Lily's father takes her to the music school and convinces the conductor to give her another chance. During the new rehearsal, Lily is so anxious that she can't focus on her playing and decides to leave on her bicycle to search for Hagen. She posts missing dog flyers around the city and loudly calls out his name. By evening, rain starts to fall, and Lily visits her acquaintances from the music school, admitting she's looking for Hagen. One of the guys tries to comfort her, and it seems she has a crush on him, even feeling jealous of another girl in the orchestra. The next day, the street dweller sells Hagen to a local establishment owner. He ties the dog to a post in the basement where other dogs are kept. They all bark loudly but can't free themselves. The owner shows his dogs to a visitor interested in dog fighting. The visitor takes an interest in Hagen and decides to buy him. The visitor gives Hagen pills that turn out to be sedatives, then transports him to a new location. There, he feeds Hagen food laced with an unknown substance. After eating, Hagen starts barking loudly. He is kept in a narrow cage, and each day the dog becomes more aggressive. He is trained using a belt and stick, forced to catch pieces of raw meat on a hook, and made to run on a treadmill, while also undergoing constant punishments. The new owner injects Hagen, making the dog feel ill and fall asleep. During this time, the man sharpens Hagen's fangs, nails a piece of raw meat to a wooden board, and teases him as he tries to eat it, preparing him for dog fighting. In the video, we see that Hagen is no longer the gentle dog he used to be. Lily doesn't give up hope of finding her friend. One day, she visits a local dog shelter, shows a photo of Hagen, but the administrator tells her they don't have such a dog. That same evening, Hagen's new owner takes him to his first dog fight, betting €1,000 on his pet. We'll skip the details of the fight to spare your psyche. In the ring, Hagen proves stronger than his opponent and, in a decisive moment, escapes, trying to get as far away as possible from that terrible place. Meanwhile, Lily, trying to distract herself from her worries, asks a handsome guy from the orchestra to take her to a club where she first experiences the world of adult entertainment. At the club, Lily's friend invites another girl from the orchestra to dance, and soon Lily feels unwell and lies down on the floor. The club security helps her recover, after which she ends up at the police station. There, her father appears and takes her home. Suddenly, the man begins to cry and promises Lily to adopt a new dog from the shelter, but Lily says she doesn't need that. She still hopes to find Hagen. With the arrival of a new day, Hagen meets the dog that has saved his life several times. They both sadly bark, as if sharing stories of their adventures, and then together seek shelter from the rain. But soon, they are discovered by animal hunters, this time in much greater numbers. Hagen is caught and sent to a shelter where he is isolated from other dogs due to injuries from the fights. At the shelter, many dogs watch cartoons like Tom and Jerry for entertainment, and they are keenly interested in what's happening on the screen. Hagen notices how one of the dogs in the next room is being euthanized. Our hero is locked in a cage where loud barks and mournful howls of other dogs can be heard. During the day, people visit the shelter wanting to adopt a dog. A beau likes Hagen, but the dog barks and lunges at him, causing the shelter owner to decide to euthanize him. Hagen is moved to a cage for the most aggressive animals, while Lily performs at her first big stage concert. When a shelter worker opens the cage with aggressive dogs, Hagen begins to furiously growl and lunges at him. The cage remains open, and other dogs also make a dash for freedom. A large pack of dogs emerges, numbering not in tens, but hundreds. The shelter owner is horrified upon noticing red spots on Hagen's muzzle and instantly grasps the gravity of the situation. The stray dogs are freed from their confinement, no longer to be held tight and tormented. At the same time, hundreds of stray dogs wander the city, causing panic among passers-by. People in terror rush to hide in their homes and cars, and those who fail to do so face attacks from hungry dogs. The city descends into real chaos. At the concert where Lily is performing, everything goes well. She brilliantly executes her part. But suddenly, a few stray dogs burst into the hall. Lily immediately recognizes that Hagen is among them and decides to go outside to find him. Her friend from the orchestra helps her exit the building through a back door. Lily sets out on her bicycle to look for Hagen, chased by a pack of dogs. As she pedals harder in tension, she suddenly falls. However, the dogs, running past, pay her no attention and do not attack. Lily discovers that her knee is scraped, but she gets back on her bike and continues her search. Evening falls, and Hagen finds the restaurant owner who sold him for street fights and exacts revenge for the suffering he endured. Lily continues to roam the city streets, hearing the barking of dogs. She notices a red stain on a store window. When the police arrive and try to take her home, she escapes from the car, grabs her bike, and continues searching for Hagen. She finds the next victim of the aggressive dogs, a butcher who dislikes them. What she sees makes her feel sick. The city police organize a large-scale operation to eliminate stray dogs, with many shots fired, and many dogs fall to the ground. A curfew is declared in the city, and citizens are asked to stay indoors. However, a group of fierce dogs manages to break into the apartment of Hagen's former owner, where our shaggy hero brutally takes revenge on the man who turned him into a monster. Lily returns home and finds the apartment in disarray, with their neighbor lying on the floor. In horror, she grabs the keys and heads to her father's workplace. At the same time, Hagen arrives as well. Finally, Lily meets her furry friend, but he is no longer the cheerful and cute dog he once was. He is now a wild beast. A pack of stray dogs appears behind him, and Lily tries to run, but suddenly everyone stops. Hagen is revealed to be the leader of the entire pack. Lily calls out for her dad, the dog growls, and her father appears with a blowtorch. Lily takes out her musical instrument and starts playing. The dogs stop barking. Hagen sits down and whines softly, singing along with his owner. The other dogs do the same, and soon they all lie down obediently. Lily lies down next to them, looking sadly at Hagen, pondering the complex paths of fate and the impossibility of returning to the way things were. Thank you for watching. See you next time in the world of cinema.